welcome back to the vlog. If you have been keeping up with my vlogs, then you know that I have been reading Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and honestly I finished it and I loved it. This was my first Abby Jimenez book and I was so pleased with it, but what I was not pleased to find out was that I started this completely backwards. Turns out that this is the last book in the Part of Your World series. So I should have started with the first book called Part of Your World. Turns out that it actually is not too big of a deal to read them out of order. It's just you kind of miss out a little bit on like the fun little like character overlap that happens between all three of the books by starting out of order, but you still do get it. You just don't get it this way that Abby Jimenez intended. But honestly it's fine because I ended up picking up both Part of Your World, the first book, and the second book, Yours Truly, from the library. So we are going to go ahead and read these this weekend. Today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. I think I can finish this one today and I can finish this one tomorrow. I think it is quite ambitious for somebody who hasn't really read like that in a long time, but if the books are in the same sort of style and voice like this one is, then I would say that I can definitely finish these two like within 2 days, even though it might be kind of ambitious because I'm still like doing things this weekend. I'm not just like doing a straight reading marathon the entire weekend, but I think it's possible. Last weekend I took like a solo trip to Barnes & Noble and I picked up this reading journal. It's from the brand Yop and Tom, and it has space for 60 books compared to a different reading journal I was looking at that only had space for I think like 32. I also really like the prompts that it has. It's very straightforward. It's like you just provide a summary, your most loved chapter, character, quote, and a couple of thoughts. And I think that's like the kind of reading journal that I like, the kinds that are just a little more straightforward. I don't have like a bunch of extra pages at the beginning or the end that are just like full of fluff, you know? So yeah, I thought it would be fun for us to kind of go through this together, and then we'll get started on trying to get through these two books together.
You want hand sanitizer? Come here.
Looks so yummy. So only like one page in, and I'm realizing that because I read the last book in this universe type thing first, I kind of spoiled it for myself already because I already know who these main characters are. So now I'm like, okay, I know that these two characters, how they end up. That just means that I am here for the ride. Like, I'm just here for the plot, I'm just here for their story, I'm just here to get to know them, which honestly I'm into. So we're gonna keep reading. just finished, right in the nick of time because we're about to meet up with some friends in the city. And all I could say is I need a second to process what I just read because I'm also still thinking about Just for the Summer, and I really liked Just for the Summer, but this one gave me like kind of a different feeling, and so I'm still trying to like think about like what that was. I did bring the second book, Yours Truly, with me to read on the way back home, at least to get it started. So I'm actually kind of surprised that I was able to finish this in less than a day. I don't think I'll actually be able to finish this one tonight. I think I will be able to make like a pretty decent dent in it potentially.
Yeah.
I am back home from the outings of the day. It is literally 5:40. I am about to start Yours Truly literally right now. When I check on Kobo, it tells me that it will take me about 8 hours to get through the book. Okay, I am 5 chapters in, and I just want to say that, like, I am obsessed with the fact that, once again, everyone is speaking so highly of, like, the male main character. Just something about that just makes me so happy. Like, I love seeing and hearing, like, that everybody is, like, saying such good things about the male main character. And if this book, like, follows suit to, like, the other 2 books, then it's true. Like, he is a really good guy, and that makes me happy. I think that's just something that I really like out of rom-coms, I'm realizing, is that, like, people are talking about the male main character, like, really highly. And he actually does prove to be, like, a really high-quality person as the story continues to unfold. So I love that. I genuinely love this. It is time for a really quick debrief. So first of all, I genuinely cannot believe that I actually did end up finishing these 2 books in 2 days. And it honestly didn't even take like a full 48 hours. It just took a couple of hours from each day. Granted, I was up late, and it was genuinely because I did have other things that I was doing over the weekend. Starting off with Part of Your World, right off the bat, I'll tell y'all I'm giving this 4.5 stars. I'm docking half a star only because I thought the female main character, Alexis, took way too long to come to her senses about how unfair she was being towards the male main character, Daniel. Maybe I feel a little defensive over Daniel because he is featured in Just for the Summer, which I started with, as a protagonist sort of supporting character to the female main character in this book. But I just did not appreciate how long it took Alexis to, like, come to her senses about, like, the mistreatment she was giving Daniel, like, and just how kind of unfair it was. She did redeem herself at the end with what she ultimately ended up doing with her personal, like, fame, status, and wealth, and how she ultimately defied, like, the toxic environment that she grew up in. That's why I'm giving this 4.5 stars. But otherwise, it's just beautiful. I love the writing. I love, honestly, the small town, big city kind of romance trope that is in this. And I absolutely love, like, this golden retriever type of, like, male character that Abby Jimenez seems to, like, be making all of her male characters be. Like, it just makes my heart happy. And let me just put it out there that the worst character in this book is hands down Alexis's father. Hands down Alexis's father. Let me know if you guys agree in the comments, but that's what I think. I think Alexis's father was the worst. So in the second book, the female main character is actually the best friend of Alexis from Part of Your World, which I thought was really fun. So we did see Alexis pop up in this book a couple times, which I really liked seeing. This book has a like fake dating to real dating kind of trope, as well as like a major miscommunication trope, which actually I'm not sure if the two tropes don't ever coexist. However, like I think the miscommunication really killed me and is what makes me give this book 4 stars as opposed to 5. I don't think I can do like miscommunication tropes, especially like between like 2 grown adults that are physicians, mind you. They went to med school. They went to med school and they can't even just sit down and talk, clear the air, figure some things out. There's actually a lot going on with Brianna and Jacob separately, like so much going on with them. Brianna is taking care of her brother who is in need of a kidney transplant. Jacob is coming out of a relationship and now his ex is getting married to his brother. Fast forward a bit, turns out that Jacob is a perfect match and volunteers to become the kidney donor to Brianna's brother, simply out of the goodness of his heart. Through all of this, somehow, Jacob and Brianna start fake dating so that Jacob's family doesn't feel so bad for him anymore because his ex and his brother are together now. So it's kind of a whirlwind of the story in that sense. However, it is really, really fun, and there is a specific element to this book that Abby Jimenez does really well, and it's her portrayal of social anxiety as it shows up in your relationships, and how some people are able to actually like handle your social anxiety versus others who just don't seem to really get it or seem to understand it. So for example, like Jacob's ex, it appears that she didn't really understand his social anxiety or how to properly work around it. But for Brianna, it comes so naturally for her to be able to like understand Jacob and to quickly like adapt to what he needs and even have the foresight to think like what might make him more anxious versus not. There are so many beautiful, beautiful things about this book, miscommunication trope aside. I really like this and I really enjoyed this as well. Overall, what I really appreciated about all of these books and all of these books together is the fact that I really got to know the characters really well. Sometimes when I read, I leave a book feeling like I didn't really fully like get to know the main character. And sometimes I feel like I left a little like still sort of like confused or not really sure about who they really are. But Abby Jimenez does a really great job at making sure that you know who these main characters are. Like you're given a robust backstory, you're given a robust sort of understanding into their inner world with their inner monologue. I really appreciate that about like these 3 books in particular. I do not know if Abby Jimenez is actually planning to write more books in this particular series. However, if she did, I would love to know more about Doug. I think he's hilarious and I would love to know more about his backstory, and I would love to see, honestly, like a rom-com story of him too. I'd love to see Benny post-kidney transplant. What is life for him like? So that's all to say that in addition to just like the main characters being interesting, like you can count on even like the background supporting characters also being quite interesting in these stories. Overall, I recommend these books to literally anybody that is looking for a really fun, good rom-com time. I did have a lot of fun making this reading vlog, and honestly, it was like such a nice accountability challenge to be able to like push myself to actually read these books that I've been wanting to read for the longest time. So if you're interested in that, feel free to follow along because there definitely will be more coming. But thanks so much for watching.